Hey! Okay, let's try that again. I don't think you heard me the first time. Hey, what's up, ghouls and gals? It's me, Ryan.T. Let's start episode 1 of the fucking podcast. Alright, first off, I want to say, hey, what's up to everybody, and how's everybody doing on this glorious fucking Friday night? And you might notice that I'm a little bit more well-lit than I normally am. That's because I invested on some fucking lights so you could see my fat fucking face a little bit better.
Now that's quality.
So yeah, that's what's happening. So today, kids, we're going to talk about relationships, or as I like to call them, relationships. So yeah, we're going to talk about that, but first, I wanted to talk about a little bit of news, a little bit of pop culture news. As some of you may know, yesterday, they revealed the PS5. They finally showed us what the fucking PS5 looks like. And this is what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. That's what that PS5 looks like. It looks like a fucking sexy router. It also looks like the top of, when Cell transforms to his perfect form in Dragon Ball Z, the Dragon Ball Z character Cell. That's what it looks like, the top of his head, real pointy. And it also kind of looks like what people would Google in 2009, like future consoles. That's like what what it would bring up. But regardless of all the funny things you could say about this console, I actually like it. I actually think it's a pretty cool console. I actually think it's a pretty cool looking console, and I plan on getting the digital version myself. I want to get that cool remote, and I want to get the webcam and all that other cool stuff. So yeah, so maybe we can look out for some PS5 gameplays on the Twitch channel here. Certainly can make that happen once I get that PS5. Once I bang a 85-year-old woman and persuade her into giving me a PS5. I feel like that's what's gonna have to happen, ghouls and gals. I'm gonna have to take one for the team, and I'm gonna have to bang an old woman for a PS5, an old wealthy woman for a PlayStation 5. So if you know anybody that's old, elderly, single, hell, they don't even have to be single. As long as they're wealthy and elderly, I will go and bang them for a PlayStation 5. Speaking again of the PlayStation 5, I don't know if you all saw, but the PS5 games that they released for the PlayStation for the launch date are pretty yeah. Yeah, they're not the best. They're not the best, folks. They're a little bit sad. We have games like this we can look forward to. Yeah, you might be asking yourself, wait, don't I have Grand Theft Auto on my PlayStation 4? And didn't I have it on my PlayStation 3? And you might be correct. Yes, I think Sony is trying to go for Grand Theft Auto being on every fucking console that they make for the next 10 to 15 years. But yeah, so we can expect to see Grand Theft Auto 5, an enhanced version of Grand Theft Auto 5, whatever the fuck that means. And speaking of enhanced versions, we're also going to see a enhanced version of this game right here, of the Spider-Man PS4 game. We're gonna see a kind of sort of sequel / expansion to that 2018 Spider-Man game. Personally, I love that fucking Spider-Man game. It's one of my favorite superhero games next to the Batman Arkham games. So we're going to get a game starring Miles Morales, the second Spider-Man, or not really the second Spider-Man, he's just another Spider-Man, and we're going to get a game featuring him, and it's going to be kind of his solo mission, and we're going to kind of get to play as him and see what's going on with him. And again, it's going to be sort of like an expansion / sort of semi-sequel, kind of like a Spider-Man 1.5. Think of like Uncharted, The Lost Legacy. That's kind of what the type of game it's going to be like. And they also announced they also announced some other cool games. They also announced a new Ratchet and Clank game. I'm a real big fan of that series. And they also announced a slew of games that nobody gives a fuck about, a bunch of indie titles. And I'm not saying that people don't care about indie titles. I'm just saying that people want the real shit when the PS5 is coming out. People want some groundbreaking shit. We don't want some games about people with teen angst, which is a lot of the games looks like that we're gonna get. It's a bunch of games with teen angst, which we're probably gonna talk about a lot of teen angst here in a little bit once we get through this pop culture news. The one thing the PS5 reveal event didn't do was answer the question that we all fucking had. How much is this fucking thing gonna cost me?
$1 million.
Yeah, they didn't answer that question because it's probably going to cost me a lot of fucking money. Yeah, it's probably going to be like $700. My prediction is $700 for the digital version and probably $600 for like the base version, which if that's the case, I'll probably just get the fucking base version and wait on getting the camera separately or something like that. So yeah, that's what we're probably going to do with that. Yeah, but for the PS5, it looks cool. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to buying it. And if the rumors are correct, we can expect to see the PS5 around November, close to December, which makes sense because they want to unleash this thing on the fucking market for the holiday to make up for the fucking money they lost during the Corona. So yeah, so expect to see the PS5 on shelves around November or December. And let's get into the fucking meat and potatoes of this episode. The reason why I called this episode The Unlucky Man, which is me, this guy right here. I'm the unlucky man, so to speak. So yeah, let's get into that, shall we? Well, the reason I decided to come up with a podcast for today, I mean, I've been working on a podcast for a little while here. That's why you can see I'm better lit here. I got a better webcam, and it's all kind of been building to this. I have a little background back here that I got right here. And sooner or later, we're going to experiment with covering the entire wall with the green screen, and maybe possibly putting green screen on the roof. So whenever I record, it'll be just completely green screen, and you can just kind of, we can just kind of see whatever we want to see there. But yeah, going into this episode, the reason why I created this episode is because recently I had been talking to somebody, like romantically talking to somebody, and everything was going pretty fucking well. Everything was going pretty fucking great. And I had hung out with this person a couple times, and I went to their house and shit. I kind of met their kids and whatnot, and we were hanging out, and well, we were supposed to hang out today. I wasn't even supposed to record this podcast today. I was supposed to be hanging out with this woman today. I was supposed to be there right now. Right now, I was supposed to be making out, fucking doing whatever you do whenever you hang out with the opposite sex or your partner, so to speak. And well, what happened was I woke up at 6:30 in the morning, which is when I wake up for work, and I got a nice couple of messages that said, "Hey, I don't know how to tell you this, but I have a boyfriend, and I can't do this to him." And well, this pretty much left me like this. Yeah, that's kind of what I woke up to, which was really fucking shitty. So it got me thinking, what other terrible relationships have I had? How am I, is this a new thing? Is this a new occurrence? Or is this just something that has been repetitively happening?
Smoke weed every day.
Well, the answer to that question is, it's something that's been fucking happening. I, was hanging out at work as one person does. Usually you would be fucking working at work, but not this guy. I was hanging out thinking about my failed relationships, and yeah, I came to the conclusion that I'm pretty fucking unlucky at that aspect in my fucking life. And let's start at the beginning. One of my first serious relationships was probably when I was fresh out of high school. I mean, I had dated in high school, but nothing super serious. Kind of just like typical high school shit. You know, you're fucking going to the back roads and fucking getting a nice blowjob or something like that, or you're fucking around. You know, typical high school shit. I don't need to get into it any further. You've been to high school or you're in high school. You know how it goes. But yeah, I had got out of high school. I was dating this older woman, older for me, and again, everything going really well, everything going really awesome. But then she started to be kind of weird. I was young at the time. I was like 17, and I would go over to her house, and she would bring over like her friends, and she would be like, "Hey, go with them, and where they're gonna go do this and do that, and I gotta go do this over here, and blah 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 blah." Well, later on, I find out that one, she's cheating on me. Two, it's my birthday. My birthday's well, not my birthday at this point in time in the story, but my birthday's coming up in a couple weeks, and I'm a kid at this point. I'm like 17. I'm barely gonna turn 18, and I haven't figured out that this chick is cheating on me. I kind of suspect it, but I'm like really naive, and she's older and hotter and hot and stuff. So I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm gonna fucking go with it. Like maybe I'm just being a fucking cuck. You know what I mean? Like maybe I'm just fucking suspecting things that aren't even fucking real or whatever. Right? Fuck it, whatever. So fast forward, it's my birthday, and I'm with my parents, right? I mean, I'm there. I'm eating at a restaurant. I think I'm like at a fucking Olive Garden or something cheesy like that, and I'm there eating, right? And then and then I'm just eating or whatever, and like she fucking lays it out on me, like while the fucking people are bringing out like a cake, they're gonna say like happy birthday to me. She's just like, it's over, I'm breaking up with you, and then boom, like dead silent. Doesn't give me a fucking rhyme or reason or anything. And they're bringing my cake out. I'm a kid. This is my first like super real relationship, and I'm just there like, they're like, happy birthday to you, and I'm like, oh my god, is this what's gonna be my adult life? Is this what I'm gonna have to fucking deal with for the rest of my life? Rejection and heartbreak? And my answer to that question is yes. Yes, Ryan from the past, your life is going to be filled with rejection and heartbreak, as is a lot of people, as is the motto for America right now. Heartbreak and misery. And another interesting relationship that I was in after that relationship was I dated somebody my own age, and it was going good. It was going great, actually. We were dating for close to a year. We were dating close to a year, and I would go every day to pick her up in my shitty Volvo that barely worked. It was like shaking and rattling and looked like it was gonna fucking explode like every time that I turned it on. And I would go over there. We would hang out. We would hang out here at my house, and I started to think like, why don't we ever hang out at her house? That's weird, right? I haven't met her parents or anything. She's met my parents, and I haven't met her parents, and we've been dating for close to a year. Usually, you would meet somebody's parents by that time, right? Right? You would think, right? Well, things started to get weird whenever one time I took her to the movies. You know, I fucking love the movies, and she was like, "Hey, can we bring my sister and her boyfriend?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever, fuck it, that's cool. I get to meet your sister, get to hang out, whatever." So she brings her sister and her boyfriend, and we go to the movies, right? Driving to the movies, we're hanging out at the movies, and me and this chick are like making out, right? And like her sister comes close to us and like sees us kissing, and she like fucking pushes me away and acts like nothing ever fucking happened. And I was like, what the fuck is going on with that? That's fucking weird, right? That's interesting. Wonder why she did that. And well, I was taking her home, and her sister went into her house, and I was like, hey, why did you do that? Like, why did you act all weird when I kissed you? Why did you act weird when your sister saw us kissing? And she didn't even like acted like I didn't say anything, and then like did a typical like diversion move, and she like started like doing things to me, and I was just like, hey, hey, whoa, hey, what were we talking about again? Yeah, it was kind of like one of those things. And Fast forward, I find out that she's been telling her parents that I was her friend and that we weren't dating, and that's why I hadn't met them, because she had kept telling her parents that I was just her friend. And I later found out that she was dating a dude who was 55 years old. And this girl that I was dating, just for context, she was originally from Fort Myers, Florida. And she was dating a 55-year-old man from Fort Myers, Florida, while she was dating me. She was basically just killing time with me. She was just killing time with me here in the valley, because she was here in the valley. And she was waiting for this dude to send her money for a plane ticket to go back to Florida so she could live with this guy. And, well, what happened was one day... I didn't hear from her one day at all, and it was weird because she would message me like constantly throughout the day. Like, I would wake up and she would already have messaged me like 3 or 4 times every day. So it was weird. I was like, what the fuck? I haven't heard from her at all. And I just thought like, maybe she drank last night and like, she's fucking asleep, because she would drink and I drink, whatever. And haven't heard from her. Haven't heard from her at all. And I'm going to the mall. This is a few years back when the mall actually had stores, when the Harlingen Mall, for the local people watching this, when the Harlingen Mall had stores, remember that? Yeah. So I was there at the mall shopping, and I get a call, right, from this random number that I've never heard. And so I answer the phone, right, and I'm like, hello? Who is this? And they're like, this is, Beep's sister. And I was like, okay, you're Beep's sister. I didn't know that. And so I was talking to her on the phone like this, and she was like, hey, I found your number on her phone, and your name's Tyler, right? And I was like, no, my name's not Tyler. And she was like, well, you're her boyfriend Tyler, right? That's what she has you under. Like, she's always messaging a guy named Tyler, and she's always talking about a guy named Tyler. She's gonna go see Tyler. And well, she ran away today, and she said she was gonna go see Tyler. So if she's with you, bring her back to us. And that's when I was like,
What?
and I told her, I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. My name's not Tyler. My name is Ryan.T. And she was like, well, Ryan.T, you're getting fucked over by my sister. Her words. So yeah, found that out. And to put the cherry on top, karma is a real thing. I believe in karma. Karma is a real thing. And karma helped me out that day. Guess what happened, ghouls and gals, to that fucking asshole bitch? That guy, he never went to pick her up. She went to the airport, and he sent her a fake ticket. Class act, everybody. Class fucking act. And guess what? I never heard from her again. Never heard from her again. I hope wherever she's at, I hope she died of a fucking embarrassment, or just in general. What's another interesting story that I have? I have a lot of interesting date stories, but my relationship stories are very few and far in between, because I have only been in a relationship with I've been with a lot of people, but I haven't been in a relationship with a lot of people. I only date people that I really like. But the people that I've dated that I really like didn't really fucking like me. Okay, here's the kicker. Here's another one. Here's the last serious relationship that I was in. What? No, I shouldn't say that. You know what? Let's talk about another relationship that I was in. The last relationship that I was in, which was maybe a year and a half back. The last relationship that I was in, which it was interesting. It was an interesting relationship. That was it was a year back, the tail end of 2019, and I was feeling a little loosey goosey at the tail end of the year. Maybe my body was like predicting the corona. It was like, have a lot of fun towards the end of the year, Ryan, because 2020 is gonna fucking suck. And so yeah, I was dating this chick, and she had a fiance or something, and she was living with him, which I was fully aware of that. I didn't care. I didn't give a fuck. Whatever. I had no disillusions of what was going on. I was just like, we hang out, I bang you, you go home, I don't care. Whatever. Well, as she was like dating this guy, engaged to this guy, whatever, she was living with this guy. We started to seriously date. Then she broke up with this guy, and she's like, I left him. I'm gonna be with you. And I was like, okay, cool. You know, I guess now we can just normally date. Whatever, right? Fuck it, yeah. And well, this chick was like one of those like spiritual Healy type chicks or whatever, and I don't mesh well with those kind of people. Never, I never have. I never will. I don't believe in that sort of thing. I think that sort of shit is like mumbo jumbo and fucking like kind of like some shit like a charlatan would fucking do, like a fucking somebody that is like has no real discernible talents would probably fucking be into fucking some shit like that. Which I mean, if you're into that shit, I mean, I guess I'm kind of knocking it, but I mean, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So yeah, back to my point that I was trying to make. She was a mess. I am kind of a mess. I was a mess, and so I was dating her, and yeah, it was a really fucking weird ordeal. Yeah, we were dating, and I'm like, she was like, I'm not dating this, blah blah, and I didn't care. Like I didn't care, but I know the whole time she was fucking lying to me, and yeah, it was just a weird relationship. It ended up ending when I was just like, hey, like, you know, like I don't really feel like you're right in your right mind right now. Like I feel like you're kind of just like rebelling, and you're kind of just like sort of like I'm the rebound dude, which fuck it, all right, whatever. I don't have a problem with that. Whatever, fuck it. So yeah, that relationship ended, went to shit. She fucking hates me now for unknown reasons. I fucking hate her for I think valid reasons. So yeah, that's how that went. And I have a slew of other fucking relationship stories that I can tell y'all, but we'll talk about that on another date. We'll talk about that on another date. I just wanted to try to do a little test podcast, see how it went, and it went relatively well, I would like to say. And I'm gonna get some guests on the show. I'm gonna try to mess with the format, get some more guests and stuff like that. And next Friday we're gonna have a horror film. I'm gonna make up for last Friday when I didn't do the Friday night horror theater like I was supposed to. I'm gonna make up for that. I'm gonna do it on next Friday. We're going to do Critters Attack. We're going to review that movie live, so make sure you're here and you check out this channel. And if you're not, make sure you're following the channel. Make sure you comment. Make sure you do all that cool Twitch stuff. I'm not that familiar with all the Twitch shit. And make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And I'm also going to be doing a review of the Justice League next week, a live film review. I'm going to be doing a live film review of the Justice League on my YouTube channel. And I'll make sure everybody gets all that. I'm going to make an event of it and stuff. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a hell of a time. And, yeah, everything's going to be going back to schedule. I'm going to be back on my game, and I'm going to be blasting, podcasting, shooting out fucking reviews. Going to have so many fucking things coming all over your face, neck, and chest. You're not going to know what the fuck to do. It's going to be so much fucking Ryan.T. You're going to be like, please, daddy, please give me some more to me. So there you have it, folks. That was the very first numero uno episode of the Ryan.T Show Podcast. The first of many. I literally have no fucking life and nothing to fucking do. So I'm going to be doing a lot of these. And I'm going to be drinking a lot of these too. So get used to me. I don't care if there's only one person that watches this. As long as there's at least one person watching this, I'm going to keep fucking doing it. I'm going to be on my bullshit. I'm going to keep on my shit. I'm never going to stop giving up. Never going to stop giving up. Never, 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 never. I'm going to stop giving up. So yeah, there you go. The Ryan.T Show, best show on the planet. I'm the greatest Twitch streamer. There you have it. I love you, ghouls and gals. I will see you in the next one.